invested in Merlin. We've invested pretty heavily in our tutorial doing Merlin, uh, just to see how it goes, just to see how well we can make it run. So let's go ahead and keep doing the military missions. Let's get back to that. If he shows are depleted, okay, we'll get actually another Merlin from doing this mission, ironically. Heavily guarded. Yawn. I think it's just destroy him. Yeah, I guess. I think we just have to blow him up. Yep. So that sounds easy enough. So let's go ahead and do it. No reason to wait. Let's just make sure the volume's working good on your guys' end, and then working good. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's go. I know. So Omar here is a little bit over invested in combat skills too, because he's going to supposed to be the security officer of the little RP family we have going on here. So we should be able to see what some decent combat skills and combat investment on a kind of early frigate should be able to do. Merlin's pretty solid as far as early frigates go. We need acceleration gate.
Warp drive
Quick
active.
jump. Alright. So you got some Garista rookies. The good thing is we have some really good range. So since we changed the railgun, so let's go ahead and start firing on these guys. You guys missed last time. Basically, we went from blasters to massive ranged railguns. And saying our default at 20 km. Pretty much all we need to do is do one volley on any particular enemy, and we should pretty much kill them with the first shot. It's pretty much just F1 and die. There we go. So probably the closest thing to, we call it, just an artillery. The closest thing to an artillery we can make this thing with hybrid turrets. There we go. Let's go ahead and pick up that stuff though. Oop. And then let's see if we can target that too. Oh, we might get a little too close to him in time. Oh no, never mind. He seems like we'll be able to pretty easily destroy him before we get to him. Or before he starts firing on us. There we go. I was worried that we might have been closing the distance a little too fast. Nothing in these early missions really should technically be that big of a problem, except some of the very end caps. Because one of the end caps, you actually can get a destroyer. And there's ironically one we're going to try to do with a Corvette once we get it. Because there is a bit of a suicide mission, kind of like with one of the one we did earlier with the Griffin. But instead of a just simple drive in and blow up, it's more of a fight to the death kind of scenario. And getting, and the trick is getting the Corvette strong enough to destroy the first enemy, but then and just have them pretty much just fall to oncoming fire to the rest. You only need to beat the first enemy for one of the advanced military missions later on. And because you have to lose a ship, it's better not to lose something very important. So losing just a corvette as opposed to even a frigate should save you some money. Early game. However, I will say for Caldera, you do end up with quite a bit of Merlins. Caldari or Calderi. Always hoping I'm not mispronouncing it. There we go. Get some tungsten ammunition. Get some more Garista loot. So there's another acceleration gate, and then we should be able to fight the boss. I think that it's like one of the bosses of the Garistas, or in this little quest chain. There you go. Just metal scrap. Don't feel too bad if that's mostly what you're getting. Again, if you are going through this, you might want to go through with a salvager. We're kind of just running through it. A salvager. Now, I found that oftentimes I don't really get the full what you might normally expect from ratting from the tutorial missions. When you're ratting, you can end up getting for some reason it feels like. It just, to me, it feels like I was luckier outside of the tutorial with getting actual good components. I feel like maybe, I don't know if it's just purposely where the ones in here don't really have good stuff on them. Oh, and this was the ones that tricked me, ironically. Fool's Crockite, ironically, I was thinking it was going to be at least somewhat expensive. Because Crockite was super expensive, and it turned out that it was not expensive at all. Turned out it was dirt cheap. Oh, hold on. Even though it does carry one of a rare resource, which is not worth the mining. Let's lock onto both of these and go to keep it range. Orbiting isn't such a big deal considering. We don't want to, since we're using longer range weapons, our lateral motion is going to be a little bit hindered. Our tracking against lateral motion will be a little bit hindered, so we just trying to kind of fight them straight forward or not moving around too much will kind of help us more. If you have a long range weapon, don't try to move around too much because generally. This is on average, longer range weapons typically have worse tracking. So unless you can do something that kind of makes your lateral movement decrease, I find sometimes just driving away, kind of like with keep it range when you're too close, where you just drive straight away. Sometimes they'll kind of come right after you, and then that will be a really good kind of pattern to go against. We have another acceleration gate too, so we're not even in the deepest part of this. I like the scenery here though. Anyway, let's go ahead and blast this last guy. Get through this acceleration gate. Oh, let's pick up all the loot first. All the easily accessible loot. Now, you might be going different skill routes for your own characters. So, if I've kind of mentioned before, this Omar is not the industrialist of the characters that we have. He is pretty much just for the he exists to get some combat on the screen. So we're caught. We're caught. Expect to see different results depending on what you're focusing on, but not tremendously. I would say think of increments in 5%. So if you didn't put anything into gunnery, and let's say he's almost got like 4 or 5 in gunnery, I'm going on 5, so that's like a 20% boost from 0, let's say. It's a rough estimate. Whoa, gosh. That's kind of spooky. I just really give it to them. The ship design in this game is really cool. ECM can get really fun. That's one thing one thing I've looked at a lot. But however ECM, you can end up becoming you're kind of the first guy shot. So be careful with that. If you like causing other people trouble. Oop, I think the stream's having some trouble. Speaking of, hopefully you guys can still hear me all right. Might be a little bit glitchy. But if you guys like causing people if you like ruining someone's day, ECM can be the job for you. But you may very well be the first person to disappear on any large battlefield. Because nobody really likes being unable to hit anything, and that's pretty much what ECM focuses on. However, it's one of those things in the game where it works well. It works well when you're dedicated to it. So there'll probably always be, if you can get good at it, there'll probably always be a space for you to do stuff with. But I think that the Guristas, speaking of, because we've been finding the Guristas a lot, you might want to be careful with exactly what you want to do with a reputation. Because if you do want to go down the path of getting the MOA, is it the MOA? I think it's the MOA. I want to say I think it's the MOA. Oh, I think, hold on. We're at 3,000. Okay, hold on. If you want to go down the path of getting the MOA, hold on, let's see. I think it's ship tree. Ah, there you go. The Gila, was it the Gila or the MOA? It's been a while since I've seen specifically, but it can be pretty helpful. A lot of people tend to like the Gila. I think that because it's missiles and drones. All right, let's continue on. Which can be pretty neat because there's not many missile and drone ships. Yeah, the bit rate's kind of doing terrible right now. Don't know what's going on there. Where's the acceleration gate? It says enter in the exact opposite way? I've frozen in space. Go that way. Or jump the gate. Maybe I'm too close? Oh, okay, there we go.
Active.
Let's go on. Ah, Tahamar Stasis Tower. You gotta be careful about that guy. We want to get rid of him as soon as possible, just because he's gonna try to slow us down pretty badly, and we don't want to lose spacing. We're gonna try to move away, turn on our power, turn on our shields, our shield rejuvenator. or shield booster. We could also go for one of the ships first, because technically the stasis doesn't do any damage. But I'm gonna kind of just do this anyway. Just because I don't like having that just sit and lay on stasis on us for a long while. Also, because we have decked this thing out with enough shielding that we are just absolutely absorbing the pounding. Let's turn off the afterburner. I think that we just want the shield booster on now.
Has run out of charges.
Oh, I'm going to reload. Let's go ahead and do a little orbit. It's stationary, so I don't think the lateral movement will hurt us too much. And we're also stasis, so it's not going to make us do a real wide turn. For some reason, I think we had stopped shooting. It's really made us feel like we're just sitting. Are we actually just sitting? Are we slowed down to an absolute crawl? Okay, let's go ahead and destroy these guys now that we can. Let's fly away from them to give us more space. Oh, it's a capsule. Pirate capsule. I think our mission was we have to shoot them, right? I think that's our primary mission anyway. So let's go ahead and pod him real quick. Oh, there we go. Sometimes I'm accidentally turning off the rifle or rail guns. Oh, we are right on him. We really don't need to be that close. Hold on, let's turn around. Okay, hold on. Let's try to keep it at a decent range. We're long range anyway. Let's go ahead and use our afterburner to get some distance. As long as we're within optimal range, that's pretty much about maximum accuracy we can get anyway. Let's turn off the afterburners. Go ahead and get the cargo container. See what goodies are hiding for us inside. Nothing that much. Watch about picking up though. One thing I see a lot of people do. I'll say it again because I'm pretty sure I mentioned this countless times, is watch out for picking up yellow cargo containers. I see so many newbies going around as suspects, and you get pretty much blasted out of the sky with very little warning if you go around as a suspect. So don't pick up stuff you don't know what it is, especially if it's yellow. Use the snow analogy. Would you pick up yellow snow? Probably not. So if it's yellow, let it go. Because it's probably not worth being a suspect over. I mean, there's times you can get away with it, but I've never found basically putting on
Warp drive active.
a target over my head as being something generally ever worth it. I imagine that it could be if your ship's cheap enough and the prize is big enough. So this cargo container right here, if I were to go pick that up, I would end up a suspect. So
Docking permission requested. Docking request
avoid
accepted.
that. Oh, we got another Merlin. Don't need it though, and now we only have the advanced military careers left. So we're almost out of the tutorial, guys. We're on episode 8, and we're almost on to on our own 2 feet. Okay, so undivided attention.
Skill training
Okay, we need
completed.
a tackle. So we need to do a warp disruptor. Tackling is something that, smaller ship, you'll find that you'll be able to do, like with warp disruptors, things like that. And let's throw one on, speaking of. Now, if you want to tackle a miner for any reason, keep in mind that the mining ships, I believe, have a warp drive a warp factor of 2. I want to say, I don't know if that's the right way of describing it, but basically they have a number of 2. So if you try to disable the warp, something like a Venture is going to be actually kind of harder to disable than something else early on. So keep that in mind. Shield recharger improves the rate of recharge of the shield. Is it just a flat increase? Uses CPU, uses some power grid. Oh, why not? That sounds fun. Free upgrade. So in there. We are really heavily shielded too, so we're a little bit tankier than really that's practical, probably, for a Merlin. Considering that our Merlin is like a more heavily set out ship might be able to get through our shields or overwhelm our shields with a burst of amount of damage. I've almost built like an assault frigate here. Almost feels like, at least. Okay, so let's find the stack on again. Capacitor transmitter, that's interesting. Small shield extender. Oh, just throw that on too. Oh, well, we need to throw a web of fire on, so we'll just throw the web of fire on instead of that.
In that location.
There we go. And stable too while having it, so that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and stop this guy flat. I think that for this mission, you don't actually need to do anything to him. It's literally just go and stop him. Oh. Got somebody flying right underneath us. But ships kind of like the Venture will be a little bit harder to stop. With a warp scrambler or anything like that. Not that you can't. It's not that you can't, but if they're smart enough to, and if they're like prepared enough to have something that might improve it, you might end up finding yourself being unable to really scramble or warp. But that generally doesn't stop someone from just trying to sneak up to you while mining, especially if you do AFK mining, which I would really never recommend. Like nothing against AFK players, but I've never really felt that kind of what do you call it, draw to it. I get that some people probably do like they're able to do other stuff while also having kind of like a mind kind of just off in the corner. But I always felt like it's just too much stress for me to just be leaving kind of. Oh, that's the fleeing pirate. Hold on, we're just shooting him. Oops. That's who we need to be stopping. Crap. Wait, did I get the wrong?
Run out of charges.
Oh no, I got the wrong thing. Hold on. Hold on, I'm leaving real quick.
Warp drive.
I need a warp scrambler. I brought a, we call it a stasis weapon fire. I'll be right back. Whoop. They're probably confused. Like, wait a second, I was fleeing. I brought the wrong thing to the mission. I brought the web of fire. Go ahead and 1 second. Go to Aquanius, warp within 0.
Warp drive active.
I just wanted to warp to the gate, so he didn't. I don't know if you can actually fail the mission as the thing actually run away. So let's go ahead and go into the base.
Docking
Go ahead and
permission
dock.
requested.
And
Docking
switch to the
request
right
accepted.
equipment. Instead of the web of fire, we need the warp scrambler. Web of fire is for another mission. There's a mission I believe that you have to use the web of fire, but not this one. We may have already done it. That's why I'm probably getting mixed around. Warp scrambler. There we go. Civilian warp scrambler.
There is already something in that location.
There we go. Ooh, that actually will deplete our stuff fairly quickly, but that's fine. We don't need to use it but once. We just need to get a good stop on this guy, and that should be all we need to do. Warp to location.
Warp drive active.
And let's stop this guy cold. I wonder how we're doing monetarily. Considering that we're just kind of spending money here and there, we're kind of drawing them. What do you call it? Kind of a flat profit margin. Just really quickly, afterburner after him. Okay, there we go. We got him. Now we could leave. Oh, his teammates already left. Okay, never mind. Let's go ahead and leave.
Warp drive active.
Okay, nice and quick. Nothing too crazy. Let's see what we got here. I think once we park, we rip that warp scrambler out, throw in the shield extender.
Docking permission requested.
Okay. Once you get the Corvette, sacrifice will be the trickiest thing I think that we'll do with the remainder of this missions, because you have to really make sure it doesn't go down, because it's pretty much a 50-50 shot that you may need to leave and give it a second go. Go ahead and request the mission. Remote shield booster. Okay, now we need to go boost somebody. Oh yeah, we need to get the... Okay, let's go ahead and get that fitted. Shield booster. Shield booster. Not shield booster, but remote shield. Small civilian remote shield booster. Will replace one of our weapons.
There is already something in that location.
I need to ungroup that. Take that off. Throw the small shield extender in there. And go ahead and toss.
There is already something in that location.
There we go. I think we accidentally put some tungsten ammo. There we go. It looks like we're good. It looks like we're good to go. Looks like we're good to just go. Oh wow, we are really losing power. I guess it's from that remote shield booster. We won't use it but for a second anyway, so. But it's like a 12-second burst we got here. Okay, so let's undock. I don't think we need to do it for any lengthy amount of time. Auxiliary ships can get pretty interesting. I don't think, like, I don't know if it's changed at all, but if I remember correctly, auxiliary ships can get to where they can end up giving kind of a wide boost to neutral and friendly ships. So playing neutral and then coming in sneakily into some fights, I think can be a tactic. I'm not entirely sure how much that's changed. Never messed around with auxiliary ships all that much. I just know that there was some sneaky stuff you can do about being, if you were neutral to a ship on a gate, that they could end up boosting the wrong person. Okay, let's go ahead, target that. And go ahead, boost him. You got it? Okay, let's head back.
Warp drive active.
So they're giving us kind of the busy work missions for the moment, because it's trying to show us how to do all the different weapons. Alright. Go ahead and dock.
Docking permission requested.
Once you get the destroyer, it should be pretty fun though. I might do a ratting run just with the destroyer, just to show you how fun it can be. To just how fun it can be just to kind of blast things from like a gunship, basically. That's what it makes me think of. It's just like rolling up into something. And then gunshipping. I typically do missions rather than just normal ratting. I guess some people really don't consider that ratting. But I do like missions against pirates. I don't really care too much about my pirate rep. I used to. I have one character that I really try to keep good rep all across the board, but I found that it just wasn't really. I never really worked with the pirates all that much. I never really was, even though like the Garissa ships would have been really cool, I generally never really saw myself as being able to, using any of their stuff. If I did, I'd probably just end up paying for it. Quest a mission. Here we go. Here's the ship. Oh, not the ship, but the mission. Accept. Okay, so let's first deck out our ship here, and then replace it. So we have at least this work back out, so we can just jump straight back into it. So let's get to our 150 prototype railgun. Not sure if we already have that in our queue. Show mission systems. But this isn't the ship we're going to be taking. We're going to be taking with us one of our other ships, with the Corvette we started with. I just want to get all this situated. Now let's switch out to the Ibis. Make active. So I've done this, I think, with like just a singular civilian, what do we call it? Civilian gun. But let's try to be smart if we can. I can afford to lose a few things. Let's see. So that we don't have to run away too many times. We might have to just use the blasters. I think does one of our ships actually have it still on them? The Heron, maybe? Heron might actually have make active. Let's see. Let's see if anyone actually has the civilian. No? Wait, did I somehow throw one on the make active Venture? No, I didn't. Well, let's jump back to the Ibis. Let's throw on a civilian railgun if we can. I don't know if you can even buy that. Because it shouldn't need any ammunition. No, I don't think that there's even an option to get one of those. Pretty much if you get a fresh Corvette, you get one. But let's first insure this for a ton of money. One thing is, if you know you're going to lose a ship in EVE Online, you insure it greatly. I don't know if we can really actually insure. I forget if we can even insure the Corvette all that much. Get repair quote. I don't think we actually can insure it. No, we cannot insure it. So I guess you could argue we could make money by insuring something else. But I'm not too worried about the money. I'd rather just not lose the ships. And also I want to show you how to do it. Very little. So let's do a Gatling rail. Gatling rail's worth 5,000. So that's dirt cheap. And EVE Online. On EVE Online currency, that's pretty much dirt cheap. I don't think we really even need all that much else. I believe it's just going to be one ship. We should be able to just kind of go in there and see what happens. We need some more ammo, though. We'll take some more ammo. Worst case scenario, we can leave and come back. It's been a while since I've done this little trick, so hopefully I remember how to do it. Right. So pretty much all you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to try to just destroy it in time. That's all you want to do is because you only need to destroy one ship. So and then from then on you're pretty much done for the rest of the mission. That's pretty much all you need to do is you basically destroy one ship and then just an entire fleet just jumps in on your position. and you get knocked into your pod. If I remember correctly, no matter what. And you'll lose nothing from doing it in your Corvette. I guess you don't get the insurance money, but
Warp drive.
what the heck anyway. Let's challenge ourselves. Alright, so we have a longer range weapon. Okay, so we want to... let's fire on him. Let's keep our distance. Not quite 20... We want to keep our distance pretty much at our... At 10 km. Keep range at 10 km. He's missiles, so pretty much it won't matter if we try dodging. So if we can do more damage than he's doing with missiles. So the thing is, I don't think he'll repair armor. So if we can get him down to his armor before we can get destroyed. Basically, we can do damage and come back and blow him up later on. For pretty much pennies on the dollar of explosions. Oh, we got... Might want to throw in a... warp within, just as close as possible. I don't think we're going to have quite enough. We might need a blaster or something. We might need one more weapon just to be able to get through the Corvette. Okay, I think that might be all we can take.
Warp drive active.
Oh, he missed us. Okay. So yeah, I think we might need one more really cheap gun, and then we can do this.
Docking permission requested.
You could either use another gun, or you could use something like a, you could even use something like a blaster if you wanted to try to do lateral, but he's using missiles, so I imagine that's not going to really help us. So let's do a little quick repair quote. Literally no cost to repair all. So you can just keep coming at him and repairing all for 0 ISK. If you wanted to with the Corvette. But yeah, let's what weapon do we have on there? It's only 5,000. This is 75 Gatling rail. One more should be all we need. It should be dirt cheap. 13,000. That's pretty cheap. It's a lot more than it's really worth. Well, whatever. It's still pretty cheap. It's almost like 50% overvalued. At least we get to keep the ship, though. The free ship that we'll get that we were given for this mission. At the cost of 10,000, which we're gonna get paid way more than that anyway. And also, it's fun that I was able to. It's also fun to use something you probably not intended to use. Because now we pretty much have double the firepower, so. We can just leave, worst case scenario, if it starts getting hectic. But it doesn't matter if we start losing a bunch of shield or even a hull, because all we need to do is actually just destroy him. that's it. Acceleration gate. Jump through that.
Warp drive active.
Alright. Jump on shooting him as soon as possible. In fact, half of his bounty will pay for already half. Keep it range, tin can. There we go. We don't need to do any lateral motion because missiles is not going to help anyway. At least at this distance. If you were at like near their fall off range, you could kind of drive, make them turn and reach their fall off range, and drop. But that's not going to happen at this distance. Ah, this is more than enough now, firepower to do what we want. We need just enough to get rid of him. Ah, perfect. We're gonna be able to get rid of him just right before we go, and then meaning that oh, perfect. Actually, I'm kind of a little worried about he's gonna maybe screw this up just a little bit. Oh no, okay, perfect. That didn't do enough damage that time to really... Oh, we're actually getting right through to the hull. I don't know what that... Maybe that's a little glitch with the armor. Okay, we should be able to get him and then we'll be ready to go. Perfect. Okay, so now, yep, as you can see, we just get absolutely swarmed by a whole bunch of stasis and everything like that. So let's just fire, just for fun, at these guys. Not like it'll do anything. The Corvette's gonna get blasted out of the sky with stasis, ECM, all kinds of stuff. You know, considering the situation, we are actually getting entirely missed. I'm impressed with just how evasive we are. Man misses you completely, misses you completely, misses you completely. Oh wow. Oh, actually we had gotten to, oh no, we actually got to a thing saying to get out of there. Okay, well, that was interesting. We may have actually been able to sneak out of that. I don't know, normally I just figured it was supposed to get your ship destroyed. But it was a Corvette anyway, so the mission pretty much wants the thing to get destroyed. I was kind of impressed how much they're missing the Corvette.
Docking permission requested.
You don't want to go into something that will probably... You don't want to try to outlast it.
Docking
My advice is go in the
accepted.
Corvette, because I'm pretty sure the only reason why they were missing us as much as we were is because of our very small vessel, and it's probably not expecting... We just wasn't expecting that. And we got a Merlin, and we basically got 200,000, a little over 200,000, almost 300,000. ISK. There we go. That is, you have to travel quickly through the disturbance to the asteroid colony. Okay. So, oh, do we not accept it? Oh, we need to accept that. We'll take our Merlin, our decked out Merlin. We don't need to use their afterburner because we already have a pretty good afterburner on ours. Make active. Go ahead and let's undock and go. Now the last mission in this kind of chain can be a little challenging for frigates because it's really like really intended for, I think, for you to take that destroyer on. But you can do with a frigate. It's challenging if you're kind of new because basically, if I remember correctly, the leader will kind of try to shoot and back away from you while also you're being slowed. So you're gonna have to use your speed to try to keep up with them, and at the same time not get absolutely hammered down to nothing. Because I believe you're warp scrambled. So once you get in, you're in until you destroy the leader. So either you want to go for the leader or try to go for the teammates and try to go through that way. But oh no, don't. Okay, never mind. I was supposed to go to that space station, but I guess we'll go back. Took one look at it and was like, you know what? I'm gonna double take this. We're gonna go back for a second. And we're gonna warp right back.
Warp drive active.
Didn't like the spooky space station. Needed a running start, I guess. We have to go to acceleration again. It's a bit rough.
Warp drive active.
So once we get through here, what we can do is we just pretty much race to the thing and then get out. It's going to start doing damage to us, so if you're doing this, keep in mind you want to leave your afterburners on. Almost any other mission that says you need afterburners, you really don't. This is the only one where it's going to do you a lot of favors to have it on, especially if you're not in a ship that's really resilient. And just throw on the shield regenerator. Well, we've really decked out this Merlin, so I don't think anything... We invested probably a little too much into a fairly early game frigate. Had a little too much fun customizing this thing. Because we didn't even take any, like, we basically healed all the damage you would have taken.
Warp drive active.
Whoop. Did a little nice drifting turn before we collided straight into that. But I would say it does end off on a pretty climactic battle, at least if you're doing a frigate. You're going in there with a destroyer, it's not as spooky. The final agent mission for this.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
You can pretty like with the Caldari destroyer, you just have a lot of firepower to kind of alpha strike the enemy leader. He can kind of keep a distance on you, but generally, if you might have a bunch of railguns, so it's not really that big. Not really that big of a problem. Ooh, we got a missile launcher. I don't believe we actually need to test out this weapon on the... I think we can actually just destroy them anyway. Okay, use your missile launcher to destroy the pirate. I'm not really sure if I need to. I think I need to destroy them with some kind of missile. So we'll change to the Heron. Because we do have a missile on that. Make active. Because I don't believe it has to be the one they gave us. It just has to be a missile ship. And we have that fitted with two missile stuff. It's kind of bare bones, everything other than that, but I don't think that'll be a problem. There's drones and missiles, as it is, should be more than enough for just whatever it's putting out there. In front of us. Location.
Warp drive active.
Oop, let's go ahead. I will say that the combat missions as you go on are a little bit more. You won't run into so many single ship attack things. Like if you do missions like to destroy pirates, you're gonna end up with like destroying at least like 20 to 30 rats, basically, and basically spending a lot. You can use a lot of time salvaging afterwards. So you have a kind of a different. Just kind of keep a distance. Oop, we accidentally changed it to default orbit, so it's kind of short. Or not warp, but default orbit. Okay, cool. We just blasted them out of the sky pretty easily, and even turned around to look cool while doing it. Albeit I missed it. I was looking somewhere else. Didn't even need to use the drones. The Heron's a pretty nice ship for a frigate. The Tristan for the Galente is a favorite of a lot of people's. For a frigate, having as much drone control as it has, it can be very, very helpful. You just, especially if there's a ton of you guys, you can just enforce bring drones. We'll do one more mission if it's a quick one. I think that might be a little bit of a longer one. So we'll delay that one for the moment. But I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll probably we'll save that so we have pretty much 3 last missions. I think there's 3 last missions to do, and then the final, two more missions, and then a final battle. So it'll be a nice 3 for next time. So I hope to see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed. I like this kind of the Eve streams is kind of just relaxing. It's just nothing. It's nothing too crazy. But see you guys later, and thanks for showing up. All right, bye.